Morning everyone. I'm live in Appleton Dock in Naarm, otherwise known as Melbourne. It's a major economic pinch point of the system we call Australia. This is why we're targeting it. Just having a conversation with a member of VicPol wants to know if we could do this on the side of the road, believe it or not. So do you reckon you could come down and do it on the side of the road? So yeah, as I pointed out, we've been trying to do stuff on the side of the road for a long time. My cat finally got through. I've had some technical difficulties this morning, it has to be said. The login didn't work because there's two other actions happening in Australia right now. So there's three actions happening around so-called Australia, and this is just one of them from Naarm. So my name's Brad and I'm taking action with Blockade Australia. Before I go any further, I just would like to acknowledge I'm taking action on unceded stolen country. Treaties were never signed, sovereignty was never ceded. I'd like to pay my respects to the Yalukit clan, on whose land I am, of the Boon Wurrung language group, of the broader Kulin nations, and to their elders past and present. I'd also like to acknowledge that this fight we've taken up to defend the natural world, of which we are an intrinsic part, is a fight that the first people of this land have been engaged in since the initial invasion of 1788. And that for the first people of this land, sharing and caring for country has always been traditional law and a sacred duty. And if we could all just decolonise our minds and decolonise this toxic system, then we could solve this crisis in a relatively short period of time. Now, it's a nice balmy morning here in Naarm. You probably can't see my banner, but my banner simply says, "Hope lies in a culture of resistance." And that sums up where I'm at, because that's the only place I can find hope, is in frontline direct action and building a large resistance movement. And the first member of VicPol to engage with me this morning said, "What can I do to get you down from up there?" Because I'm up a 9-metre monopole. As you can see, I'm quite high off the ground. I said, "I'll tell you what you can do. There's one thing that will guarantee that I come down. If you can show me where the hope is, anywhere other than what I'm doing right now, I'll get on my 8 and I'll be on the ground within a minute. I can guarantee you that." Hence, he couldn't show me where the hope was, because we know there is no hope. All deep-thinking, rational people who understand the severity of the crisis we're in and how fast that window of opportunity is closing in front of us know that there's no hope in this system. This system is designed to extract and exploit, and that's what it's done with a callous disregard for human life from the moment it arrived on this continent. And no one knows that more than the first people of this land. And everyone else is just about to discover it. As we see ecosystems collapsing all around us. 19 ecosystems in Australia alone are showing the early signs of collapse. There was a study published over 12 months ago, put together by 23 different universities. Now those ecosystems collapse and societal collapse will follow. That's guaranteed. I'm just going to have a bit of a look around. Yeah, look down here. Up the other way. Not exactly the most balmy morning in Naarm, but you know, these are the sacrifices we make. Could be a lot worse. Could be one of those countries where they're running out of food. Could be in Pakistan, where 1/3 of a mountainous country got flooded, where they are living within their ecological footprint, so they're paying the price. Paying the price for the self-indulgent Western world. Nation states like Australia, one of the highest per capita emitting countries in the world. That's that callous disregard for all forms of life kicking in again. One of the highest, if not the highest, extinction rate in the world. And all those animals and all those plants that have gone extinct, they're all totems for First Nations people. So that's the cultural genocide that continues. All because this system doesn't care. We know Will Steffen, the esteemed climate scientist, former advisor to the Australian government. The late Will Steffen, before he passed away, gave permission for activists, climate activists, to use Will Steffen's quote. And that quote is, "We are already deep into a trajectory of civilisational collapse." Think about that for a little while, meditate on that. And what I'm doing here today might make a bit more sense to people who don't get it. And he said that civilisational collapse will lead to a precipitous drop in human population and a hell on earth. It's a full-blown dystopia that we're heading for, folks. That's why we need people to rise up. We need people to join groups like Blockade Australia. Join groups that are on the front line, taking non-violent direct action, engaging in civil disobedience and genuine civil resistance. Find a group that suits you best. Follow your passion. If you've got capacity, roll up your sleeves and get involved. If you can afford to donate, donate. Because money makes a huge difference. This work isn't cheap, and it is work. It's rewarding work. It holds off the despair, but it is work. So if you've got deep pockets, please donate. There should be a donation link in the comments section. And thank you for tuning in, all 45 of you. If you've just tuned in, my name's Brad. I'm taking action with Blockade Australia. I'm up a 9-metre monopole on Appleton Dock Road. And I did not get up here on my own, it has to be said. There's an incredible team of people that made this happen. All people that are committing to something that's bigger than themselves. They're putting their own interests second. They're making personal sacrifices to try and rescue. Good morning, Violet! I love you too, Violet. My original mentor. In some ways, you put me up this pole, Violet. Yeah, so here we are if you just tuned in. We're in the country of the Yalukit Willem clan, of the Boon Wurrung language group, of the broader Kulin nations. Lots of love hearts, they're greatly appreciated, everyone. And I do believe I'm not the only one taking action today for Blockade Australia. I think the cat's out of the bag. I think it's safe to say that there might be some cheeky actions in other parts of the eastern seaboard. We're doing what has to be done. We're in a climate and ecological emergency. It's a genuine existential threat. You can see all the trucks are backed up. Some of the truckies around here have been giving us a hard time. Some of them have been giving us the thumbs up, it has to be said. Some of them get it, some of them don't. Just gently remind them, we're doing this for the kids in their life too. This is not just about us. Even the haters. Morning, Sam. Thank you, BA. Thank you, amazing media team. So many amazing people behind this action, making this happen. So much work, so much selflessness. And that's what the world needs right now. It needs selflessness, because we live in a system, this system we live under, it encourages, it rewards, and it celebrates greed and selfishness. That's what it does. So if you're greedy and selfish, you'll do really well in this system. And you get all the shiny toys, and you get the beach house, and you get the big house on the hill in Toorak, and you get the ski lodge, and you get all the things that this system tells you makes you successful. And you can spend thousands of dollars on a suit. That's what this system does, and it's the opposite of what we need. Hey, you broke my flow, brother. You broke my flow. One of the workers down there wants to know if I've got a working with heights permit. So, yeah, no, we break the law. Morning, Freya. So nice to see all these names pop up. So nice to have 50 people on the live stream. If you're watching this and you're not involved already, find the group that suits you best. Anyone who's committed to non-violent civil resistance, roll up your sleeves and get involved. We need everyone. To change everything, we need everyone. We just do. The task in front of us is unprecedented. It's monumental in scale. But it doesn't mean it can't be done. Doesn't mean we can't salvage something and build a better world. We know we can do that. It just takes enough people to commit. Thank you, Juliet. I really appreciate that. I know how staunch you are. So I might have a little look around, do a little spin around the pole. So good that things are working, because I had some tech troubles this morning, and I'm not the greatest with tech, it has to be said. So I had to keep my composure and communicate with the media team, and they got me there in the end. I'm in a very comfortable chair that some friends made for me. Just hanging around. Where am I? Okay, thank you. Thank you for the reminder, and please feel free to keep doing that, Violet. So I'm in Appleton Dock Drive. I'm in one of the biggest container ports. This is the main road of one of the biggest container ports. Hello, Mika, all the way from the UK. It's one of the biggest container ports in the country. And just up in front of me is what's called Anderson Drive, which leads into the biggest container port in this area. So we are disrupting business as usual, because we know unequivocally that business as usual equals death. There's no doubt about that. There's no rational argument against that. It's not just a matter of changing fossil fuels to renewables, living in a green economy, or green growth, as some people say. That's not going to do it. That's not going to cut it. Because for this system to succeed, it relies on perpetual growth. And anyone who's given it some thought knows that infinite growth within a finite system, it's the ideology of a cancer cell, yeah? That's what it is. Capitalism is a cancer cell. And yeah, it's provided a lot of comfort for a lot of people in the last century or so. No one's going to deny that. But when you look at what it's doing to our ecosystems, our life support systems, it's been incredibly self-indulgent. All the warnings have been there. Morning, AK. How are you, brother? All the warnings have been there. First Nations people have been trying to warn us since 1788. Been trying to tell us, if you care for country, country will care for you. And with the white supremacist attitude that invaded this land, they were just too arrogant to listen. They thought they knew it all. Morning, Ali Fern. They thought they knew it all. And now, as they say, the chickens are coming home to roost. Ecosystems are crumbling all around us. 19 key ecosystems in Australia alone are showing the early signs of collapse. And if they collapse, then society collapses. In 2019, the climate movement were called eco-zealots. Quote, eco-zealots, because we warned about food shortages and mass crop failure. Yeah, Vic Paul want to speak to me, but I reckon they can wait a bit. We were called eco-zealots, and then only last year there's a leaked UK government document that warned of exactly that, yeah? So, the political class, they know exactly what's coming down the line. They know we're heading for a full-blown dystopia, and they've still got their foot on the accelerator. They're still wedded to this toxic system and business as usual. Yeah? They must think they're special. Morning, Sam. They must think they're special. They must think they're going to live in a little bubble, and the food shortages and all the chaos and the dystopia is not going to affect them. And they might have their little private armies, but how are they going to keep their little private armies? Thank you. Yes, I do need to give a little refresher, Sam. Thank you. I am on Appleton Dock Drive, the Port of Melbourne. Major economic pinch point here, taking action with Blockade Australia. My name's Brad. In Naarm, otherwise known as Melbourne, on the country of the Yalukit clan of the Boon Wurrung language group of the broader cooler nations. So that's where we are. And we've caused some major disruption this morning because we know there's three key ingredients to civil resistance. It's disruption, it's sacrifice, and it's escalation. You get those three things right, and you get the numbers, and you start having a real impact. And one of the first cops to get here this morning said, "What can I do to get you down from that 9-metre monopole?" So, yeah, I'm pretty high up. I'm up a 9-metre monopole, and I probably should change the angle a bit more every now and then, make it more interesting. And I said, "Tell me where the hope is." Read my banner, because my banner says, and I don't think I can show you the banner from up here, it's a bit awkward. My banner says, "Hope lies in a culture of resistance." And I'm up here because that is the only place I can find hope, is in a culture of resistance. And I challenge anyone from VicPol, anyone from the government, anyone from the media, you show me where else the hope is. And I'll come down from this monopole right now, and I'll never do direct action or civil disobedience again. Because there is no hope in this system. It's just business as usual. Yeah, hope lies in a culture of resistance. Thank you, media. And the other one I really like is our survival depends on our resistance. That's our last hope, folks, resistance. If enough of us rise up, we can do this. We have to do this, because the alternative is unthinkable. We're in the middle latitudes of the planet, yeah? Most populated regions of the planet. They're the first regions of the planet where we're going to see mass crop failure, because they're the closest to the sun. And you're going to have hundreds of millions of people on the move. How's that going to look? In a region that is already geopolitically pretty unstable. Yeah, it's going to be nuts. But it's not too late. We're just going into another El Nino, We're going into another El Nino. Anyone seen the ocean temperature? What that's doing at the moment, the ocean surface temperature? It's spiking, it's off the charts. It's exactly what we were warned about, non-linear change. It's just another example of non-linear change. It's not the first time we've seen non-linear change. If you don't know what that is, I recommend you Google it. Because we saw it with the heat bulb in North America, where temperatures were being broken by up to 5 degrees, which is previously unheard of. Temperatures normally go up by points of a degree. They're going up by 5 degrees in multiple locations. So that's one example of non-linear change. And what we're seeing in the ocean at the moment, with the graph going off the charts, it's another example of non-linear change. We're not even in the El Nino yet. And the Great Barrier Reef bleached during a La Nina, which has never happened before. So what chance do you give the Great Barrier Reef in the coming El Nino that some scientists are saying we've already entered? Honestly. Have a look around. If you're just tuning in, everyone, I'm on a 9-metre monopole. The road's been cordoned off. Trucks have been diverted. I imagine search and rescue's been called. Try and get some different angles going. Big love and respect to all my friends who got me up here this morning. Wherever you are right now, multiple locations I'm sure, but thank you from the bottom of my heart. What an incredible team effort to make this happen. I did not get up here on my own, folks. Thank you, Violet. I'm loving your prompts. Okay, so I'm just a working class guy. Believe it or not, I drive a truck for a living. I'm on $23 an hour. That's what I do for a job, and I'm on long service leave at the moment. I've taken long service leave to make this action happen, to be a part of this action, to put my body on the line for a safe, fair and sustainable world, for all the people and all the flora and fauna that live in it, all the creatures that have a right to live, all the people that just want a safe life and don't want to have to fight over things like food. Because that's the sort of dystopia we're heading for if we don't change our current trajectory. Hey Sarah, XRSA. Let's have a look around. Have a little breather. Oh, the evidence gathering team's here. So the evidence gathering team, can you see them behind me? Somewhere down there. There you go, evidence gathering team is here. Search and rescue's here too. Hey, we're doing it for the kids in your life too, brother. There you go, there's a truckie, not very appreciative. Oh, I haven't even had time to get into my chocolate. I've got a whole block of vegan dark chocolate in here. So, search and rescue have arrived. Not sure what their plan of attack is. It's going to be interesting. I'm sure they've practiced on monopoles. All right. Hey Ben, how are you, mate? So nice seeing all these familiar names popping into the chat. Hey Frankie, how you doing? So my name's Brad Homewood. I'm taking action with Blockade Australia on Appleton Dock Drive, down on a major economic pinch point of this system. It's Australian system. This system that's going to kill us all if we don't do something about it. XR West Side's watching. Yay, XR West Side. This system, as we know, has a callous disregard for all forms of life. I think we have the record on this continent for species extinction. All those species are totems for First People. Yeah, it's bad enough that we've wiped out all these species, but when you add that extra layer, it's actually quite horrific. I'm coming to you from stolen land. Treaties were never signed. Sovereignty was never ceded. I'm on the land of the Yalukit people, of the Boon Wurrung language group, of the broader Kulin nations. I'd like to pay my respects to their elders, past and present. I'd like to acknowledge that for the First People of this land, sharing and caring for country has always been a sacred duty and traditional law. If we could all just decolonise our minds, decolonise this toxic system, then we could solve this crisis in a relatively short period of time. And us settler colonial folk, we're pretty new to this fight. I'd like to acknowledge that too. We're very new to this fight because the First People of this land have been engaged in this fight since the initial invasion of 1788. And nobody has borne the brunt more or harder the genocide and the ongoing genocide, the great shame of this nation, still hasn't been addressed in any significant way. Still no justice for the most incarcerated people on the planet. Still having their children taken away at alarming rates after everything they've been forced to endure. Can't even bring ourselves to sign a treaty and give them some land back. Always was, always will be Aboriginal land. So, I'm sure VicPol are watching. I know you're watching VicPol. I know you watch our live streams. So I'd just like to say, it's a real easy way to get me down from here. Just tell me where the hope is. Give me some hope other than civil resistance, and I'll come down right now. It's you again. I'm going all right. How are you? You want me to pack it all up? There we go. I've been given a direction. I've been asked to pack everything up. I'll come down. I can get down from here in about a minute on my 8. If you'd show me where the hope is. You tell me where the hope is, other than doing this sort of thing, other than direct action. You show me where the hope is, I'll be on the ground on the asphalt under a minute. Yep. Apparently I'm going to be charged. There you go. Didn't see that coming. Hey, Kaz, how are you, mate? So, there you go. I've had my warning. I've got to pack everything up or I'm going to be charged. Well, I better pack up then, eh? Alright. Had me warning. They're going to read that out in court. Going through the motions. Search and rescue are here. Alright, if you've been watching for a while, you're going to have to forgive me for the repetition, because we know with live streams, people, jump in and out. It is Monday morning, there's probably people at work having a sneaky look at the live stream, sneaking off to the toilet so they can watch a bit, or watching a bit while the boss isn't looking. So please bear with the repetition. My name's Brad Homewood. I'm taking action with Blockade Australia. We're disrupting business as usual, because business as usual equals death. We know that, that's unequivocal. We're taking action against the Australian system and its institutions, because these systems are designed to callously extract and exploit. Hello, Jody. Thank you, mate. I love you too. Callously extract and exploit. The complete disregard for all forms of life, human, animal, flora, fauna, you name it. Nothing matters. It's all about growth. Growth. Got to have growth. So what's the infinite growth within a finite system? It's the ideology of a cancer cell. Hey, Susan. How you doing? And we know you can't have infinite growth within a finite system. And we're seeing the repercussions of that now. Even the founding fathers, the revered founding fathers of the capitalist system, acknowledged that there were limits to growth. Yeah? But you think the capitalists acknowledge that? Think they're willing to acknowledge that? It's delusional. It's madness. It's complete and utter madness. Thinking you can just keep exploiting this system. Keep extracting. Just run down your ecosystems to the points of collapse. and everything's going to be okay. Because everything's not going to be okay. That's the truth. And that's why we're taking direct action. Because direct action is the only place we can find hope. So my banner says today, hope lies in a culture of resistance. Sir David King, the former Chief Scientific Advisor to the UK government, warned about 12 months ago now, maybe a bit more, but warned. What we do in the next 3 to 4 years will determine the future of humanity. That's how serious it is. That window of opportunity is closing before our eyes. And that election we had, that people called the climate election, yeah? Ever think about the so-called climate election? All the talking heads told us we had the climate election because we got a party that was less shit than the previous party. So we're supposed to settle for that. Okay, they made some minor improvements. There's a news flash. Incrementalism and reformism is not going to get us out of this problem. Being less shit is not going to get us out of this problem. Yeah, less shit doesn't cut it. It's the system. Yeah, it's the system. Tinkering around the edges, not going to cut it. This system is simply unsustainable. This system will kill us all if we let it. So our survival depends on our resistance. So if you're not already involved in a group and you're watching, find a group engaged in civil resistance. Sign up, roll up your sleeves. You got capacity, get involved, make it happen. If you got money, donate money. Money is essential in this system because we have to work within this system to change this system. Yeah. And I'm up here because I just can't sit on my hands and allow it to happen without doing something. As Joan Baez says, action is the antidote to despair. And I got sick of being in a state of despair. I got sick of reading the climate news, climate and ecological news, and thinking, I can't just sit here and do nothing, yeah? And it feels better when you do something, yeah? You take action and you feel better. There's no guarantee we're going to win, but we're going to go down fighting if we don't. If you don't fight, you're guaranteed to lose. If you do fight, you might lose, but at least you're in with a shot, yeah? If you don't fight, oh, here we go. Here we go. Fireys are here. Just have to, I've just got to prepare something, folks, so just bear with me. You might not be able to see what's happening for a minute. Maybe I can sit that down there. So the cherry pickers here, coming to get me. Alright, so the cherry pickers here, search and rescue are here, and just made some adjustments to my position, you might say. Just had to change a few things around. It's like the show's coming to an end soon. They do fluff around for a bit though, so it's not over yet. So if you just tuned in, my name's Brad Homewood. taking non-violent direct action with Blockade Australia. I'm on Appleton Drive, down on the docks, one of the largest container ports in the country. And we've caused some serious disruption here this morning, because this is a system that needs disruption. Hello Margie, how are you mate? I was just getting to that, just coming back around to that. Lots of repetition in the live stream, so apologies if you're just tuning in. Yeah, I am on Appleton Dock, down in, all the containers are loaded, one of the major economic pinch points of this system. We're disrupting business as usual, because business as usual equals death. We love you too, Margie. Yeah, in Melbourne. So yeah, I probably should have mentioned that too, because there's probably people watching all around the country. And we've put a stick in the spokes this morning, you might say. It's a 9 metre stick. It's a 9 metre monopole. So the top of this pole is 9 metres. I'm about 1 metre from the top, so I'm about 8 metres in the air. The Vic Pole asked me to come down and, can you do it on the side of the road, they said. You go, well, we've been doing it on the side of the road 30 years. First IPCC report was 30 years ago. Emissions have gone up by 60% since then. So side of the road wasn't really cutting it, was it? You know? After every COP, have a look at the graph. See which way emissions go after that absolute fiasco, that charade they call the COP, where all the so-called world leaders come together, talk about how they're going to solve the climate crisis. Hey, Catherine Strong, watching from work, having a sneaky watch from work. Love you, Kath, you know that. Yeah, so they're not getting the job done, are they? And they're not getting the job done, let's be honest. I know I'm not letting the cat out of the bag here, this is no big secret, but they're not getting the job done because they're wedded to the system. They think this is the system. They think this is peak humanity, like this is the best we can do, this system. They thought they sorted it out years ago, and there's no admitting that you're wrong. Couldn't possibly be wrong. Too proud to admit you're wrong, or too addicted to your lifestyle to admit you're wrong. But, you know, this system is going to take us all over the cliff if we don't change it. It's a toxic system. It encourages, it rewards, and it celebrates greed and selfishness. It's not about the collective. So, oh, I've got some detectives here too. And you can see behind me, there we go, cherry pickers coming up. Oh, somebody sent an angry face. I hope that angry face was about the cherry picker coming to get me. I'm just getting comfortable. In my beautiful chair that my beautiful friends made for me. Yeah, so I think it's worth repeating. I didn't get up here by myself this morning. Action like this is just not possible for 1 or even 5 or even 10 people to do. An amazing team of amazing people that got me up here. I've got so much love and respect for them all. So if you're watching, that's for you folk, yeah. Incredible team of people, incredible human beings, sacrificing things for the greater good, making personal sacrifices for the greater good. And we need so much more of that, because this system encourages the complete opposite. This colonial capitalist system that was imported to this country to the great detriment of the first people of this country, who always knew and have always said, if you care for country, country will care for you. You need to share, yeah? If you don't share, there's consequences. And we're seeing the consequences of not caring for country and for not sharing. We have so much to learn from the first people of this land. We haven't even got the basic human decency to give them some semblance of justice for all the atrocities that have been committed against them and continue to be committed against them. After everything that's been done to them, they are still the most incarcerated people on the planet in this toxic system. Think about that. Alright, I'm just going to have a look around, see what's happening. Alright, they're just getting search and rescue under the cherry picket down there. It's all happening. Yeah, I'm not sure if I'm going to finish the live when they get here or not. I'll see how I can go. I can quickly hit a finish. Media team have assured me that they can finish the live from where they are. Amazing people that you are. 92, wow, that went up all of a sudden. Welcome everyone. I should start again. If we've got 92 people, there's like 60 a minute ago. My name's Brad Homewood. I'm taking action with Blockade Australia. I'm up a 9-metre monopole on Appleton Dock Drive, down on the ports of Naarm, otherwise known as Melbourne. Disrupting business as usual, because business as usual equals death. This is a major economic pinch point in this system, and this is a toxic system that we're living in. This system's going to kill us all if we don't do something about it, if we don't dismantle this system and build something better, something sustainable. Thank you, Joy. So that's why I'm doing what I'm doing, with the help of many people. It's not, I'm the one on the live stream, yeah, obviously, yeah. Captain Obvious here. But I didn't get up here on my own. There's an amazing team of people got me up here. Wonderful human beings that got me up here. And I'm eternally grateful for that. And I'm up here because, not just the system, because the system is the core of the problem of the climate and ecological crisis. It's not just a question of, thank you Margie, blocking the Port of Melbourne, yep, to be more exact, blocking the Port of Melbourne. Thank you Sharon. The system is the core of the problem. We can't just convert from fossil fuels to green energy and everything's going to be okay, because there's still this growth imperative, yeah? The growth imperative. The delusion that we can have infinite growth within a finite system. Complete and utter madness. And we're seeing the repercussions for that all around us. 19 critical ecosystems in Australia alone are showing the early signs of collapse. Thank you, Wilka. Thank you, brother. Those ecosystems collapse. Thank you, Steve. And a societal collapse follows. Full-blown dystopia. It's on its way, folks. As the late Will Steffen said, former advisor to the Australian government, one of the most respected climate scientists in the world, we're already deep into the trajectory of civilizational collapse. It's going to lead to a precipitous drop in human population and a hell on earth. This nation state, Australia, one of the highest extinction rates in the world, one of the highest per capita emissions in the world, the third largest exporter of fossil fuels in the world, coming in only behind Saudi Arabia and Russia. Doesn't that make you proud? Doesn't that make you want to stand up and sing the national anthem? Yeah? Young and free, what a lie, always was a lie. There's nothing young about this land or the people that live here, the first people. It's never been free for them either. Hey Ronnie. So we're blockading this system. I'm down on the Port of Melbourne. Coming up behind me. Search and rescue. I can now let the cat out of the bag, a little secret. I'm glued on. So I don't know if they brought the acetone up with them, but if they have, they're probably going to have to go back down and get it. Then when I put the phone down before, I just glued my hand on to the monopole. the 9 metre monopole, and let's see if they've brought some acetone with them. About to find out. If they have, I'm going to have to cut out the live stream. So thank you everyone for watching. Please do what you can, get involved. This is the fight of our lives. If you've got money, donate money. We need money. Money makes a huge difference. Glued on. Glued on? Yeah. Glued on this left hand. Sorry? Brad. I can't hear you. Have you got acetone? You got acetone? Alright. Oh well, they got acetone, so they're prepared for that. That's a better angle. Oh, why didn't I pull that one out earlier? That's a heaps better angle. Hey Carmen, how you going? Good morning. Alright, I'll try and keep this out of reach. Here they come. You got acetone with you? No, oh, okay. They haven't got acetone with them. They're going to have to go back and get it. So. Make sure you're safe. Yep. Show me your harness in. I'm in a bosun's chair. Yep. I'm harnessed in as well. I'm on an 8 and I've got 2 Prussics. Yeah? Will you glue your hand on there? I've glued my left hand on, yeah. Are you happy? Are you going to be alright? I'm perfectly comfortable here, yeah.
Are you going to be aggressive or?
No, I'm strictly non-violent, yeah? Strictly non-violent, always.
Good.
You can look at my record. You guys have got a record on me. Never resisted arrest.
You're good to deal with at the Spire, so you remember me?
Yeah, I do remember you from the Spire, yeah. I wasn't violent that day, was I?
No, you were good to deal with.
There you go.
Alright. Well, the plan will be is we'll go and get some acetone, we'll come back up.
Okay.
Free your hand
and then,
bucket if that's alright.
It seems like the drill, yeah.
Cool. Alright, back in a minute.
Okay, there you go folks. Turns out they didn't bring any acetone with them, and I didn't mention that earlier that I glued on because we know that the police watch the live streams and they would have given it away and they would have brought some acetone with them. So I thought I'd say that for a little surprise. One of the search and rescue guys recognised me from the Spire. The other one asked if I'm going to resist arrest or if I'm violent. Yeah, so good to hear you speak. Thank you, Margie. Asked if I was violent. One of the search and rescue guys recognised me from the Arts Centre Spire maybe a month ago or whatever and said, no, I wasn't. I didn't resist arrest. To be honest, I have to acknowledge I'm coming from a position of white privilege. And I think it's important that people in a position of white privilege exploit that privilege and put their body on the line like this. And I was treated fairly well at the Spire. And to be honest, I don't see the point in resisting arrest. I don't see the point in escalating at that stage. At that stage, we made our point. Got the message out there. I don't want to be violent either because I don't want to live in a violent world. It's part of our prefigurative politics. We want to live in a peaceful, sustainable, socially just world, yeah? So, 107. I've got an inkling that maybe one of the other live streams is finished. Maybe that's why there's been a surge in numbers on this live stream. So it's probably good that we staggered them a little bit and I had some technical difficulties early on. So the cherry picker's just going down to get some acetone. If you're just tuning in, I should say it again. I've been trained to say this on a semi-regular basis. My name's Brad Homewood. The helmet makes it pretty obvious that I'm taking action today with Blockade Australia. Down in the Port of Melbourne in Appleton Dock Way or Appleton Dock Road or one of those, but it's definitely Appleton Dock. It's one of the busiest roads down on the Port of Melbourne, and we are disrupting business as usual because business as usual equals death. We're disrupting this system because this system has a callous, disregard for all forms of life, human and otherwise. And this system is going to kill us all if we don't rise up and resist it. If we don't rise up and non-violently resist this system, we don't stand a chance. The best hope we've got is civil resistance. Yeah. If you fight, you might lose. But if you don't fight, you've already lost. That's a guarantee. So I'd rather be in with a shot, yeah, than just sit on my hands and give up. Don't know if I could live with myself, given the situation we're in. So this is why we do what we do. I'm up a 9-metre monopole. If you've just tuned in, the Port of Melbourne, taking action with Blockade Australia. Thank you, Susan. Greatly appreciated. Yeah. The cherry picker's just gone down to get some acetone because I have just glued on my hand, as you might be able to see. It's all happening around me. They're going into their box of tricks now. Got some good toys, search and rescue, it's got to be said. Wouldn't mind borrowing some of their climbing gear sometime. Thank you, Katie. Yeah, we are definitely on the right side of history. Anyone involved in the climate movement is definitely on the right side of history. There's no doubt about that. We need more people. Thank you, Juliet. That's greatly appreciated. I don't know if we've met in person, but I've admired your work over the years. I know how staunch you are, Juliet. Much love and respect. Thank you, Kat. Much love and respect to you too. So it looks like I won't be hanging around much longer. Just a shame. It's getting pretty cozy up here. The rain stopped. There's a fair bit of rain when we got started this morning. Started out in the wet. I didn't really want to go into custody being too wet. That could get pretty miserable, you know, but wasn't enough to stop the action, that's for sure. Tell us why you're doing what you're doing. I have been doing that, that's true. Probably due to do it again before they come up and take me down. I'm doing what I'm doing because I'm terrified about what the future holds. I'm doing what I'm doing because I listen to the warnings from some of the world's most respected climate scientists about the dystopia that we're heading for, about food shortages, about people fighting over food, about mass migration, about how that's going to affect the people who can afford it the least first. And the rich and powerful who make those decisions, they won't escape it, but they'll be affected last. And that's probably why they're so... It's probably why they are like they are, yeah? It's probably why they're so callous. They probably think they're special and they're going to get away from it and live in a bubble. Thank you, Carmen. Thank you, Sharon. Yeah, so I'm doing what I'm doing. Also because action is the antidote to despair. And if I don't take action, if I'm not getting involved, I genuinely feel the despair. I feel climate despair. I feel climate anxiety. I feel climate grief. They're very real emotions. And I find that taking action and getting involved and meeting like-minded people who are willing to do something about something that's bigger than themselves, that's a very spiritually enriching experience. And that gives me hope, yeah. So that's why I'm doing what I'm doing. And I'm also doing what I'm doing because I can't find hope anywhere else. As my banner says, and I'm sorry you can't see it, but hope lies in a culture of resistance. That's where I find hope. That's the only place I can find hope. Whenever family or friends give me a hard time about what I'm doing, that's what I say. You tell me where the hope is, and I'll stop doing what I'm doing. Yeah, I'll never break the law again. Alright, I've got some company. Go. I'm gonna have to finish the live soon, folks.
Hey, Brad.
I'll see how I go, see how long I can string it out. My right arm's getting pretty sore, just quietly, don't tell anyone. Been holding it up for a while.
What's your sign, mate? Sorry, I
Yeah.
don't want to ruin that.
That's alright. It served its purpose.
Hey, Brad. Can you spin around? I was going to put this onto your harness so you can alternate. We're both safe. Go on.
Alright, just hooking me on, attaching my harness to the cherry picker. Thank you, BA. We love you guys too. BA media team and everyone at BA. I love you all. Much love and respect.
Roger. Brad?
Yep.
It's got a front carabiner. Can I get you to just try and open that hand for me?
It's pretty stuck. It's pretty
What's
stuck.
this banner attached to?
This carabiner next to my thumb.
Okay, so I'm going to take that down. So it's kind of in the way for us to get you down. So
Oh, I didn't even get to eat any of my chocolate. It's too busy on the live stream to eat the chocolate. You reckon they'll let me eat it in custody?
you just need to grab that so it doesn't fall.
It's a whole block of vegan dark chocolate in there. I don't think I'm going to get to eat it. It's a tragedy.
What's in here?
Bits and pieces. Vegan. There's some vegan dark chocolate in there.
I can lift it. You have to
Oh,
put your phone down for a second.
I'll put my phone down for a sec. If you're not going to snatch it, are
I
you?
wasn't going to have to cut it. I don't want to open it.
All right. As long as you're not going to snatch the phone.
No, mate.
All right.
I'm not interested in the phone. My interest is you.
Can I have some chocolate? Can we cut a deal on the chocolate?
Let's have a think about this. Let's put this up for a second.
That's a no.
No, I don't think it's a no. It's just not.
All right. Maybe on the way down.
Yeah.
All right.
That sounds like.
Sounds like a good deal.
Yeah. I'm happy.
It's not like I'm being difficult. Right. Hey, back up to 107. Welcome everyone. My name's Brad Homewood. I'm taking action with Blockade Australia, Melbourne, Port of Melbourne, Appleton Dock Drive, Appleton Dock Way, something like that. Of course you will, Jody. Jody will eat the chocolate.
Brad, just going to take this sign down.
Yep. There goes the sign. The sign reads, "Hope lies in a culture of resistance." It's the only place me and many other people can find hope. Because I've thought long and hard about this, and if you think long and hard about this, I'm sure you'll agree.
I don't know.
There goes our beautiful banner. All right. Who wants to? What do you reckon? You reckon I'm going to get some chocolate on the way down? What does everyone think? It's a whole block of vegan chocolate in that bag. I haven't touched it yet. And he said maybe on the way down. I'm taking maybe as a no. But we'll see. You never know. I doubt it. I'll let you know when I get out of custody. Thank you, Ben. I reckon I deserve it too, yeah? Just a bit of chocolate. All right, you're just tuning in. My name's Brad Homewood, taking action with Blockade Australia. So I'm petrified about what the future holds. I'm up a 9 metre monopole down in the Port of Melbourne. Search and rescue are behind me. My hand's currently glued on. So I've got some acetone, I've got to get my hand off. My right arm is almost cramping up because I've been holding the phone up in front of my face for that long, but that's all right. Take one for the team, as they say. Thank you, Sharon. Thank you, it means a lot. It's not like I'm getting any feedback from anyone else, not around here anyway.
Hey Brad,
Yep.
can we take we're just going to need your other hand.
You gonna need my other hand?
Second.
Does that mean I've got to end the live stream?
Yeah.
You can tell them. Do you want to tell them and not me?
So we're going to need you to just put that in your pocket.
Alright, hang on a sec. I'm going to have to go, folks. Thank you for tuning in. My name's Brad Homewood. I'm taking action with Blockade Australia. Yeah, thanks for tuning in. Get involved in frontline climate activism. Donate. Do what you can. This is an existential threat to everyone. No one will be spared. Thank you.